Uh, Thank you, Preeta ma'am, for that warm introduction. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you and good evening, everyone. And let's begin. There is an interesting character, a hybrid character in Indian mythology. He's a horse-faced musician seen both in Indian literature and in visual arts. So this paper discusses on this hybrid character named Tumburu. And there are several variations in his name, like some literatures refer him as Tumburu, while others refers as Tumbaru or Tumburu or Tumburu and others. There are many variations on his name in literatures. He's a Deva Gandharva who is usually recognized with his horse head, and he's the best Gandharva, best musician among the Gandharvas. And he leads the Gandharvas in music and singing. And the Indian literature describes him as he's a master of music, skilled in dancing, and he's good in playing stringed instruments. He's a member of Kuberas as well as Indra's court, and he's the son of Kashyapa and Pratha. And the character usually associated with Tumburu are either Narada or Rempa. Rempa is considered as some literatures refers Rempa as his wife, while some others as the preceptor. And she's an Apsara in Devaloka. Like Narada, he also acts as a messenger, and his character is defined as Samgrama Kahalapriya, means he is very fond of strife and quarrel. And Bhagavata Purana says Narada is the one who taught music to Tumburu. He is one of the lords of Gandharva, means there are a few lords among the Gandharvas. They are the Haha, Huku, Parvata, and Chitrada. And then the other lord is Tumburu. And the iconography of Narada is almost same as that of, iconography of Tumburu is almost same as that of Narada, except the head. Tumburu is having a horse head, and usually he is portrayed as holding a stringed instruments, and sometimes he is shown as carrying a wooden clapper. He has a short Kirita Makuda, and usually he is depicted along with sage Narada. There are many literatures, Indian literatures, referring Tumburu. In Vishnu Purana, Tumburu is shown as, means Tumburu is referred as one of the assistants in Sun's chariot, while Sun rides his chariot in the month of Chaitra. In Markandeya Purana, he acts as the supervisor of the marriage between Prince Ritutwaj and Madalasa, also Avekshit and Vaishak. In Skanda Purana, there are a few interesting stories regarding Tumburu. One of them is Tumburu cursing his wife because she refused to take the holy bath in Gornatirtha, and she refused to perform the rites in the month of Magada. So he cursed his wife to become a frog. Another interesting story is like Tumburu cursing the king Puraravas. Puraravas is actually the husband of Urvashi. Once Rempa, either means Rempa, the wife of Tumburu, was dancing in Devaloka, and suddenly Puraravas insulted her like she is not as good as Urvashi, and Tumburu means he's a bad teacher, Tumburu. So on insulting Tumburu, he cursed Puraravas, and he was along with other celestials like Narada, Hahahu, and other players. Tumburu was there on the marriage between Hara and Gauri. He was one of the member of the ensemble who played music, and he was on this stringed instruments. In Mahabharata, there are many occasions where Tumburu is referred. He attended the Janmotsav of Arjuna. He watched the fight between Arjuna and Kaurava, and he was present at the Ashwamedha of Yudhishthira, and he gave Yudhishthira 100 horse. In Ramayana, there is another interesting story of Tumburu as Viratha. Viratha is a demon. Once Kubera cursed the Tumburu into a demon named Viratha for being too fond with his wife Rempa. So later, when Tumburu got relief from the curse when he was killed by Rama. In Vanaparva, it's like Tumburu's song used to be heard from the mountain of Gandhamandhana on the full moon days. So according to iconographic text, Tumburu is usually shown with Narada and usually shown in the Uttama variety of Bogastanaga form of Vishnu and in the Kalandaga form of Shiva. In the first variety means in the Vishnu form, representation of Vishnu, Tumburu and Narada are shown as flying with musical instruments along with other celestials like Kinnaras, Yakshas, and other. Yes. And in Kangalamurti form of Shiva, the text prescribed Tumburu and Narada must be shown as singing, and the Devas and other celestials must be shown as listening to the music. Even though the iconographic text prescribes like that, in Indian visual arts, there are other means several occasions where Tumburu is represented. There are solo images, they are associated with many other themes, and we can go through a few examples. First, we can go through some stone sculptures representing Tumburu. The first one is from Krishnaswamy temple of Tamil Nadu. Here, Tumburu is shown with his horse head in Alithasana pose, and he is holding an instrument in his left hand. That's probably a stick sitar, and we can deal with that. We can discuss on that instruments on later slides. And on his right hand, he's probably holding a clapper-like musical instrument. The other one is from Kumbakonam. Yeah, here also he is represented with his horse head. His left hand is holding a musical instrument. That's a Tumburu. A drawn instrument usually seen in India, and his right hand is shown as holding a wooden clapper, and he is in he's the temple of Lepakshi. Here, Tumburu is again shown as holding a stick-like instruments, that the stick sitar, and he's in Dubanga pose, and his left hand is in Varada pose. And this is the famous Varaha sculpture from the Udayagiri Cave 5. Here we can see that Narada and Tumburu are represented here on the top left, and their faces are a little damaged. And the interesting thing here is like Tumburu is holding a guitar-like instrument, that is a lute-like instrument. That's a primitive form of all the strings, most of the string instruments. And coming to the paintings, there are a few examples where Tumburu is shown. This particular painting is from the Mysore school, belonging to the 18th century. Here the theme is Shiva dancing Sandhya Tandava with celestials. Here many celestials are shown as watching it from the sky, and Tumburu is one among them. There are Apsaras, Kinnaras, Narada, and there is Tumburu. Here he is shown as holding a tamburu or a veena, and he is shown as sitting on a cloud in the sky. This is from the Mysore school. The theme is same, and here we can see that Tumburu is present on the right side, and Narada is here playing on his string instrument here on the left side, and the Apsaras are dancing in the sky. And here also Tumburu is playing on his stringed instrument, probably a veena or tamburu. And this is from Tirupati, belong of 18th century. Here the interesting thing is Tumburu is playing his instrument with his right hand, and his left hand is shown as holding on the neck of the instrument. So this is probably a veena-like thing, because usually it's for veena, people use their left hand to press the string and make various tones. Here Narada is shown as playing on a veena having two resonators, and the frets are clearly visible here. Here the frets are absent, so it's a fretless type of veena. And there is an interesting narrative sequence from the Chaparandatta Bhavati temple of Kannur district. The depiction is the narrative sequence. From the narrative sequence, the depiction is identified as the story of Viratha. Here, in the first scene, Rama is shown as killing the demon Viratha, and in the next scene, he is shown in the Gandharva form. But interestingly, here Tumburu is shown as having a human head After Rama means after Virada is killed by Rama, he regains the Gandharva, means the Gandharva form, and he goes back to the heaven. And there are two means from the above examples there are two means he is either shown as a horse-headed being or as a demon Virata. In the horse-headed form, he is usually either represented as a solar image. That's usually seen in the stone sculptures, and he's associated with Narada or other celestials. He's shown as one of the musicians in the orchestral ensemble of the celestials, and he is hardly shown as devoid of any kind of instrument such as veena or tumburu, and sometimes he is shown as holding a wooden clap. In Virada form, it's usually associated with the Ramayana panel. Here, Rama is shown as killing the demon form of Tumburu and regains his earlier form. Either it will be an anthropomorphic form or a horse-headed form. Here, there is no musical instruments associated with Tumburu. So these are the main four kinds of musical instruments that's associated with Tumburu. The first one is stick sitar. Okay, a stick sitar is a primitive kind of musical instrument. It's different from the ordinary veena or tumburu. Like in Tumburu or Tamburu or veena, this part is called the resonator. It's a main part of the main body part of the instrument. But while coming to the stick sitar type, it can be separated. So that's the main difference between a sitar and a veena. So here we can clearly see like Tumburu is holding a stick-like instrument, and we can clearly see the resonator over here. So that's clearly a stick sitar. And here it is quite difficult to differentiate the Tumburu and veena. But by the playing position of the hand, we can make a small conclusion like either it may be a veena-like thing, because here Tumburu is shown as plucking the strings with his right hand, and his left hand is shown as particular instrument may probably be a veena, but the first one is it's confirmed that it's a Tumburu, the drawn instrument. And then there is from the Udayagiri caves. Here Tumburu is shown as playing on a lute-like instrument, and other horse-headed beings in Indian mythologies like Hayagriva. He is the horse-headed form of Lord Vishnu. Then there is Kinnara, but there is a problem with Kinnara. Like the text prescribes like Kinnaras should either have a horse head and a human body, and or a bird with an upper part of human. So, but in Indian visual arts, there is hardly any image shown as Kinnaras having a horse head. They are usually shown as a human having wings of a bird, and means the body of a bird. And then there is Ashwini twins who is having horse head. So these are the other horse-headed divine beings in Indian mythology. Then in other mythologies, like in Greek mythology, there is a horse-headed being like Hippothines, and in Philippine folklore there is Tikbalan. But none of these are associated with any type of instruments or music. But an interesting thing is in Mongolia there is a horse-headed musical instrument. That's the Mongolian horse-headed lute, and this is the image of that horse-headed lute. And the main question here is why Tumburu is having a horse head. There are many arguments related to that, but still he pleased Lord Shiva, and Shiva blessed him with a horse head and immortality. That's one theory. And another theory is like Kashyap's sons are usually having a horse head. So Tumburu is actually born with a head of horse. And yesterday, Dr. Shalop is to indicate the pure knowledge he has on music. Like is the horse or usually represent is the representation of purity. So the horse face of Tumburu may be representation of the pure knowledge of Tumburu in his music. But I am still probing to find more convincing answer why Tumburu is having a horse head. And I would like to hear your valuable comments on why Tumburu is having a horse head. And